Yo YouTube! This is my video for today, Thursday the 6th of June. Let's start off with my stats for today. So I have filled it with fuel again, so I've got an updated fuel price for this week. That is 14.1 pence per mile that I drive. Today I have driven for 431 miles, 431, and I will have worked for 12 and a half hours. I've managed to scrape together £220, 220, from 3 CX jobs today, and once the fuel costs of £60 and 77 pence are taken into account, I have therefore made, after fuel costs, £159, 159. So let me go through how that happened, how that panned out today. I had a job booked in from Stamford going down to Farnborough from yesterday. I actually got a call this morning at 7:30 offering me a multi-drop day today, but obviously I couldn't do that because I had a job booked in. Also, I wasn't that keen on doing it because it's tough for me to do a multi-drop day, so I think I'll only want to do it if I'm desperate. So whether I'll ever do it again, I don't know. Maybe I will, but not in the foreseeable future, I hope. So I had to pick up at 9 o'clock from Stamford, and I left the house about 8:30, about 5 minutes late. It's about 35 minutes to get to Stamford, about 15 dead miles. For the job that I was doing today, it was a small van job. It was 120 loaded miles, and I got £110 for that, 110. Now I remember taking this job last night, and it was really kind of the last resort because I couldn't get any work, and I took it for a couple of reasons. It was a decent amount of money, £110, and it was a good start to the day. It was booked in advance, but I was reticent about going down to Farnborough. I didn't really know where Farnborough was. I've heard of it, but I didn't know where it was. It's sort of between London and Southampton, and I was reticent because I don't think I'd get a good opportunity for work coming back to my house. And I think in hindsight I would agree with that. I'd rather probably not have taken that job. To be fair, today I'm glad I did it because it's a good pay, but I think next time I have this option, I might well not go down south for my first job of the day, because I just find it really tough to get out. I'll tell you about that in a moment. So I picked up the load at just gone 9 o'clock. It was a few sample bottles to take down to Severn Trent, no, South East Water. So I arrived in Farnborough and was offloaded and finished by 11:45, and a lot of the jobs that were coming up were going into London, and I just didn't want to do that. And also they were pretty much all small van jobs, so there wasn't very many miles, and it was all going obviously to a very difficult place to get out of. So I ummed and ahed a bit, and then I got from where I got to the M3, headed west, and got to Fleet Services. I used the toilet and then did some put a few bids on there, and obviously because I was on the motorway heading west, anything that was booked back eastwards would have meant me going to the next junction and turning round. But the next junction wasn't that far away, so I had about half an hour. Jobs come up from half an hour either way, east or west. And in the end I got a job. It was going back to Ascot, which was back along the M3, and then delivering to Oxford. And I got this job at about I think 12:30. So it's probably 45 minutes of bidding, and at Fleet Services, and I was sort of really debating about what to do. I was really stuck as to what to do, and I took the job, and I went quite cheap. It was a small van job, 44 loaded miles. I was 20 miles away from it, about 30 minutes to drive to Ascot, and it was I got £40 for that job, 40. And I'm really pleased I did get that job, because it got me further away from London. It was going from Ascot to Oxford, and the pickup was from hospital stores, quite easy, and the drop off was at a storage unit. You get given the code and you go in and you leave it in a locked room. So the actual job itself was pretty easy, and it got me a bit further away from London, which was the main thing that I was happy about. So I did that job. I arrived at the pickup point at 1 o'clock, and then I was finished by 2:10. I arrived at the box place, the storage place, by just before 2 o'clock, and then I delivered it and came out back in my van for about 10 past. And now I was sort of Oxford, thinking about trying to get somewhere near home, and time was moving on, and in the end I decided that I would head towards Northampton, or at least towards I put my sat nav on the M40. I went towards Banbury because I thought it was a bit of a risk. It was moving with no job, but I wanted to get myself further away from sort of the Reading, Swindon, sort of Slough, London, but that's sort of where all the jobs were, and I get somewhere more like East Midlands, sort of Bicester, Toaster, Northampton. That's where I really wanted to head to. So I started to drive towards Banbury, and at 2:30 I got a call and that was to collect from Daventry and go to a Uttoxeter address, and I knew exactly where it was heading. I put a bid on of £70 for 76 loaded miles for a small van job, and I was about, I probably would say, by the time I got the job I was probably about 20 miles away from Daventry, and I'd probably driven it by that point about 15 miles. So I'm going to estimate I've driven from Oxford to Daventry dead to get it's about 30 or so miles. And the only caveat I had about this is I had to get to the pickup place before 4 o'clock because they were closing, and I was due to arrive at 4:45. I had a 45-minute journey. So actually it was just gone 3 o'clock when I got that job. So I started, I'll go back. I left Oxford at 2:30, heading northwards, having spent 20 minutes trying to find a job. Didn't hang around, and then at 3 o'clock, about half an hour later, I got the call for my job. I had to be there before 4 o'clock. So I whizzed over to Daventry, picked up the 3 boxes, and then made my way towards Uttoxeter. And my ETA was going to be around about 5:30, 4:45. In the end, it was more like 5:30. The traffic was not as bad as it could have been. I had to, in the end, wait a total of just under an hour to get unloaded, even though it was just 3 boxes, because the drop box is closed at this place. closes about 3:30. And so I was finished about just gone 6:30. Yeah, there's not really a lot else I want to add to that really. It's just a normal day on the road. I'm driving home now. It's still light, which is nice. It's been a lovely day to do this work. I'm doing quite a lot of dead miles at the moment, but I'm home every night, and I'm sort of learning a bit about where to try and get myself ending up or starting the day. I've got a job for tomorrow again. It's a bit different. I've put a bid also on a job for tomorrow night, which I haven't yet received. I might not get it, but if I do get that job, that'll really make the week a good paying week. Well, good. When I say good paying week, compared to some people it won't be good, but for me it'll be alright. Yeah, so my first week of June has gone. I've sort of got back into the swing of things. I've worked every day, done a full day every day. My stats are going to be not quite on target, but not a million miles behind, I think. I think that's all I can think of. So, quite a short video for today. I am quite tired today. There have been opportunities to do like really long routes. There was a job I bid on that was going from an OX postcode, Wallingford or Wallingborough maybe. It was going to, it was a long wheelbase job going from there to Norwich and then from Norwich to Paisley in Scotland. I put a bid on it. It would have been a bid that if I'd got would have paid me 2 days work, and I would have just done that job and then demanded it home on Friday, probably down to England and then sort of down to the northwest of England. But I didn't get that job in the end. I was tempted, but it would have been a very, very long day for me. So yeah, quite tired today, but content with another day on the road. And that's it. Thank you very much for listening to my video. I hope that you are successful, however you choose to define that word for yourselves. And I shall check in with you tomorrow. Farewell, friends.